Alright guys, so as you guys seen, we're gonna be lowering this Miata. Got myself this TEIN suspension. So I went with this TEIN suspension because everywhere I searched, this is the best OEM feel. So we're gonna give it a try. We're gonna slap this in here and see if it, has the same feel as the OEM suspension, and hopefully it does. Because I definitely want to be daily driving this thing. Everything's probably still gonna be, all rusted up in there. So we'll see. Let's get to it. So I could tell why people are saying that this is actually kind of hard to get out, because my strut is all loose and I'm trying to get it out of here, but it's already tapping out on the upper control arm. And yet down here there's not a hole for the strut to go down, so it's basically just bottoming out here, so it's really not giving me enough room to give it that angle to pull out. So I'm pretty sure that's probably why people are saying it's kind of a tough job to get out. So we'll see. So now time to put these top hats on these, because that's the only thing that these things don't come with. And it should, I'm guessing the longer ones are the ones for the front, and then the smaller ones are for the rear. Kind of makes sense, but we'll see what happens. We might have to redo it again. Well, there's the first one. It definitely was a pain, but we managed to get it done. So what we did was ended up removing the bottom ball joint, because it has a screw here and then one inside right underneath the strut, and then this whole little arm pops out, which gave us enough flexibility to pull the other strut in. And then this TEIN, or whatever you want to call it, it was shorter, so it slid in a lot easier. And then here it is, all put together. So what we did here with the height for now is just maxed it out to where the spring is just barely being touched by the first nut here, and then we're gonna lower it down and see how the height is, and then we'll tighten everything up after that. So this thing's definitely gonna need some ball joints, some brand new ball joints, because they're all bad. I probably won't even be able to get it aligned until I do that. And I'm thinking the back is probably gonna be the same situation. It's gonna need some new bushings all around, but we'll see. All right, so there she is. So we just basically, like I said, topped out the spring on this side, so we have a little bit more room. I got about an inch clearance. We're just gonna make sure everything's good on both sides the same way, which it does look pretty good, but we will lower about an inch or two in the back. Other than that, she's looking pretty good. We're just gonna tighten everything up and take her on the road. Alright, so we ended up slamming the back, so the coilovers maxed out in the back, and then like we said, we're going to just tighten these because it was at a perfect height, and everything should be pretty down even now. I also ran up to AutoZone to get this clutch slave cylinder, because when I'm sitting in a stop and if I have it in gear and I hold the clutch, it eventually loses pressure, so I'm sure this is the problem. So I'm gonna tighten this side and then install this real quick. Should be pretty easy. So luckily this thing's right there. As you guys can see, this thing's full of oil from oil leaks. I'll start by using some brake cleaner. Clean this off, try to get as much oil out. That way I won't be so dirty. Well, I just got done putting that little slave cylinder. There she is, nice and leveled. Looking good from the back. And then now it's got this lip, which definitely makes it look a lot lower in the front. It's definitely looking like every other Miata out there. Looking good though. Fun little ride for sure. I got me this eBay spoiler, nothing fancy. It doesn't even look like it fits right, but we're gonna make it work. So it goes on there with rivets. So I gotta sit here and measure it out good, and then I did put double-sided tape on it yesterday. So it should be, you know, on there pretty good. That way I could, you know, kind of at least get one side going, and then I'll force it to sit properly, because it definitely doesn't, the curves aren't definitely there, so there's a lot of a gap there. Since it's the back, you know, I'm definitely gonna silicone around the edges. That way no dirt gets in there, so it should be good. Alright guys, so there it is, all ribbed up. I'm definitely gonna put silicone all around the edges, because if you guys can see, it warped a lot. And the reason why I did that, because when I pushed down here to try to get this edge to align, it would push all the extra plastic up here, and then it did the same here. You know, I still have a big gap here, but I'll just end up siliconing it. It's an eBay little spoiler, so I'm not too worried about it. A little bit of silicone will hide everything. I did spray paint a different color because I am gonna do some crazy things to this, so stay tuned for that. And let's get this thing on the road and see if this spoiler is gonna fly away.